Hey English students, it's Cody Miller. I'm here with that follow-up video that I mentioned in the previous week 7 review. This one is largely to help you understand a little bit more about how to do the rhetorical situation, where to find the prompt, and how to work through the works cited entries for an anthology. So I'm going to cover those 3 things here in this video, okay? One other thing that I want you to pay attention to is that in this video, if you watch it all the way through, there will be a chance for extra credit in it because you took the time to watch the whole video, okay? But that extra credit has to be submitted by a specific time. So make sure that you finish this video and that you've watched it in a timely manner. But let me go ahead and get down to business and show you some of the stuff that I want to remind you of from the class as well as for the assignment. So we're going to start with the rhetorical situation area. So I'm going to share my screen. When you are looking at our Moodle page, you want to make sure that in order to find the prompt is very, very important for this assignment. It largely outlines that whole paper for you. The prompt is located right here underneath Unit 2 Rhetorical Analysis Essay, and it's titled the Rhetorical Analysis Essay Instructions. So for this Moodle page, it's the second item down. It may be the first item or the second item down on your Moodle page, depending on which course you're in for me, okay? So when I click on that and I download the Rhetorical Analysis prompt, it's going to show me what I need to do in each one of these particular particular sections, okay? Because remember, this paper is sectioned off using an introduction, using visual aesthetics, and these are done with section headings. Section headings look very similar to what I showed my workshop students in the review that we did during workshop. However, there are 2 examples on Moodle that show you how to set up your headings for this assignment, okay? And I'll go to those in just a moment. But this is what the rhetorical situation is all about. So when you're thinking of the rhetorical situation for this paper, you want to make sure that you are doing a couple things. You're thinking about what your product is, what you need to know about your product. And that means prices, who makes the product, where it's being sold. You also want to make sure that you understand the message that the advertising magazine does. So like, what does the magazine title normally specialize in? Is there an issue date? Does it matter that it appears in a specific issue? Remember, we talked about that in one of our classes. And then most important in that rhetorical analysis is you've got to make sure that you're able to locate the media kit for the audience of your magazine. So what that means is you need to be able to search in Google to find those media kits. And sometimes media kits are referred to as MRIs. That's largely the information we need about the demographics for that audience, okay? So I'll show you how to do that using a particular type of magazine. So when you are looking at the rhetorical situation, you're attempting to answer these questions, all right? Now, in terms of section headings, you want to make sure that you are setting those up like they do in Unit 2 underneath the rhetorical analysis sample essay. So you'll notice in that sample essay for Starbucks advertisement, we've got the Starbucks ad there, and then you'll notice that each one of these has a bold heading that is flush with the left side of the page. And each one of these is labeled, okay? Now, one thing to remember about this paper in particular is that the headings are not correctly labeled. They're correctly formatted, but not correctly labeled. You're using those directly from the prompt. Have that prompt out next to you as you write this paper, okay? Now, you also want to make sure that you are understanding how to work through the thesis, because I'm talking about that in the draft and asking you to submit that. So the thesis work is right here. What I'm asking you to do is follow through with the idea of a 3-sentence process. That 3-sentence process, each one of them has a particular set of information or it has a particular set of information in it. For instance, the first sentence, you need to mention your ad, you need to mention your product, you need to mention your audience. The second example here does exactly that. Notice it says the Toyota Camry advertisement, and then it says the young female readership, and then it mentions the magazine. So we've got the Toyota Camry is the name of the ad, but also the product that's being sold. We have the audience, and then we have the magazine. Notice the magazine is in italics here. Then in the second sentence, you are attempting to actually attach specific elements to the appeals. So particular elements from your ad to the appeal. Once you do that, you'll be able to construct your second sentence. And there's two solid examples of that here in your thesis statement. So sentences number 2 in each one of those. Then sentence number 3 is perhaps the easiest one. You are largely telling me whether the ad is persuasive or not to the target audience. You'll see that each one of these does it differently. This one says, yes, it is persuasive, and it says, and it ends with that. This one says, no, it's not persuasive, and it could have done better by doing this. That's what you need to do if your ad is not persuasive to your target audience. So again, this document helps you construct your thesis statement, and that is located on Moodle underneath Unit 2 Rhetorical Analysis as the thesis work for the rhetorical analysis. Now, I told you that there would be a chance for extra credit. If you've watched this video by Sunday at 11:59 p.m., you can email me and tell me one thing that you learned from this video, and I will then put extra credit in the gradebook for you. So again, extra credit is watching this video, telling me one thing that you learned from it, and emailing me by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, that'll be extra credit. Now back to the stuff that I've asked you, that I told you that I'd cover in this video. So we talked about the actual, well, let's see here. I'm stumbling through my thoughts here. We talked about the rhetorical analysis example there with the headings. We talked about the rhetorical situation. I also said that we would talk a little bit about jib fouls. So jib fouls is up here. Okay, remember what you're doing in that section is taking two of his appeals and applying them directly to your advertisement. But we also have to figure out how to cite these. So two places to cite these would be Purdue Owl, and then you would also want to work with potentially Night Site. So if we go up here, I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to Google Purdue Owl. So when I Google Purdue Owl, it shows me Purdue Owl MLA. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to look at the styling guide. And when you go through this, what you want to make sure that you're doing is you are clicking on the right type of source. We are looking at a book. So this is on the left side of the screen, and it says MLA Works Cited Book. Click there. And what we are essentially trying to do is find an anthology, because that's what this text comes from, jib fouls. So you're looking for a work in an anthology, reference, or collection. It then lays these out for you pretty clearly of how to create those. And then you put that like a normal works cited page into your document. Another site that might help you with this would be Night Site. So like Knights of the Round Table. So Night Site. Googling it right up here. Night Site citation service through Calvin University. I'll click on that, and then it takes me into a citation generator. If you scroll down, you'll notice that we just need to know the type of source that we have. And we have an anthology done by an author and editor. You click on that, and it will then walk you through step by step what you need. The author is Jib Fowles. The original work title is The Advertising's 15 Basic Appeals. The editors are listed in the PDF. The editor's work title is The Common Culture. And then you can fill out all the rest of that information right there. Okay. Let's see if I go back to Moodle for a second to make sure that I'm in the right place. All right. So we talked about the jib fouls. When you click on jib fouls, it's right here. And you can scroll down. You can find the You too. Thank you very much. You can title this Common Culture. You'll see that we have the edition. We also have the appeals that appear, I think, on page 7 in here. So you're taking 2 of these and you're applying, okay? Applying those to your actual paper. So I hope you found this video helpful. Talked a little bit about your thesis statement, talked about your jib fouls, how to cite that and include that in your paper, and then also showed you the rhetorical situation and where that is in the prompt, and making sure that you understand where that prompt is on Moodle. Okay. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. And then remember that chance for extra credit in the video here if you spot it early enough. Thank you very much and stay brilliant.